and welcome to the TTS Talking Teachers podcast. Now, each week we'll be joined by different educational speakers from across the globe, offering exclusive insights, inspiration, and guidance to help teachers unlock new opportunities to enhance learning outcomes. To be the first to hear about future episodes and access follow-up content, including ideas for your classroom, resource recommendations, and more, sign up for exclusive access using the link in our podcast description. Hey gang, this is Steve Bollar, Stand Tall Steve. We are back again talking about classroom management with Iantha Ussin. We're excited. We had some great discussions about rituals and routines, and now we're getting into some good stuff. This is the meat. This is the thing that I believe can make a classroom or not make a classroom. It is developing healthy adult-child relationships.
Yes.
And the key word in this, to me, isn't necessarily relationships. It is healthy relationships. Yeah. That's it. So tell me about the importance of healthy adult-child relationships.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that it can make or break an entire classroom operation. If those relationships are set properly, we're on the go. If they're not, then we're going to have an issue. It's important to know who the students are. It's important to know how they learn. It's important to know what they like and don't like. They're people before they're your students. And we engage with people, you know, and so being able to teach them, a big part of that is knowing who they are. And I mean, you wouldn't want to be locked up in a room with 30 kids all year.
Oh my goodness.
And you don't have a healthy relationship with them. Okay. Yeah.
That's definitely it. It's so important. And I love that you kind of broke that down in that we are dealing with people. They are little humans, and sometimes they big humans, right? And I think everybody needs to take a pause and keep that in mind. They go into the school year, you say, got my students, got my scholars, you know, whatever you want to call them, they're humans, right? They're people first. So let's dive into some practical ways to achieve this healthy adult-child relationship. What are some ways that we can kind of make that happen? Keyword being healthy.
Yeah, keyword being healthy. You know, I come from a middle school background, and those are the communicators. Middle school children want to talk. Friendships are everything. And so I know that this can work on any level, though, is in the beginning of the school year when you're setting order, you're putting rituals and routines in place. How about doing some questionnaires? How about getting up? How about allowing them to get up and talk about who they are? Doing some "this is me" projects in the beginning. Look, the first week of school, I hardly ever did any curriculum. I would throw little things in, of course, because you and your good teacher, you know how to throw a little curriculum in with some of the other things.
Yeah, they don't even know it's coming. They don't even know it's coming.
They don't even know it's coming. And so when I'm asking you to present and tell me who you are, I'm also looking for certain types of sentences. Let me see you do that in a compound sentence, you know, but tell me who you are and what you like. And then I'm going to tell you, you know what? You don't like broccoli. Guess what? Miss Ussin doesn't like broccoli either. And now we have a connection. There's more to talk about from there. You know, just talk to them. That's a way to get it done. That's a practical thing. Talk to them. They're people.
That's exactly it. Yeah, have those conversations with them. Give them those opportunities. Be friendly, but also I think another piece of this is still being in charge of the classroom. Still holding your position in the classroom as the leader, but yet also developing those positive relationships. You know, one thing that I did see one time as a building administrator, one of my teachers, each of the students received an index card. It was a bigger index card. And on the one side of the index card, they say, put 3 things about you that I should know. Then at the bottom, tell us something about your parent. Up in the right corner, put some of your favorite food. On the middle, on the other side, I want you to put your favorite colors or whatever like that. So now she has like a little index card that gives some basic information about every single student that she can reference back to. And she used those things in responses to work. She throws some info down at the bottom, use different color pens, different stuff like that, helping to develop a lot of those different relationships
Now, see,
within
that's masterful right
that's
there.
a master. Yeah.
It's masterful because it just, I mean, there's no other way to start building it without asking the questions and without
Mhm.
having the conversations. We
Mhm.
grow in relationship with people the more we communicate with them. And
Right.
so teachers have to just say, I think sometimes teachers go in thinking that they only have to be the authority. Like,
Mm.
I don't have to be relational with these people. And you
Mm.
do, you absolutely do. You
Yeah.
probably heard it said before that students don't learn from people they don't like.
Say it again, please.
You know, students don't learn from people they don't like. And
Right.
I don't think that's 100%, but I think it's about 99.
Yeah, they're learning something. They
They're
might
learning
not be able to. Right. Right.
because you have those overachievers. You know, I think
Yeah.
about myself in school. I don't care
Mhm.
who the teacher was. I'm going to learn from you because I want the A.
Right.
But I'm not going to give you all of me and I'm not going to go, 100% for you. But
Right.
when I like you, when I like your class,
Right.
I'm going to give a
Right.
little bit more.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially when you're talking about, let's talk about that student. I'm doing air quotes right now for those who can't see me. That student. We all know that student, right?
You know,
Every classroom, every school has a that student. But some of y'all listening were that student.
mhm.
The statement that you just said, meaning like if they don't like you, they won't learn from you. I mean, I've even seen situations where that student goes out of their way to be disruptive, go out of their way to kind of be that student even more so because that relationship isn't developed there. I'm sure you've
Mhm.
seen the same thing.
I've seen it, and I talk about it a great deal in my book. I really
Yeah.
outlined that of
Mm,
how I researched those
mm,
students.
okay.
I worked in a demographic that was rather difficult, just,
Hmm.
to say the least. It was pretty difficult, and we
Hmm.
had a lot of students who would come in intentionally to
Mm.
disrupt. That was their goal,
That was their
to
goal every day.
disrupt
Hmm.
every day. And so I would study them and I would find out again what they liked, what they didn't like, what ticked them off, what didn't tick them off. And I would just find moments of quiet. If that were in the lunchroom, if that were in transition to the library, I would
Mm.
find moments of quiet where I would just ask questions because asking questions is less threatening rather than coming up and saying, you know what, da, 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 whatever. I would
Mm.
ask questions. You
Mm.
know what? Did you have a good morning this morning? You look different from yesterday. You look a little more peaceful today. Just start the conversation. That let them see that I am not coming at you to go at you. I'm coming to talk to you. I broke down a lot of walls just doing that. Researching, studying, standing back, watching, and waiting for the opportune time to go in and just ask questions.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
exactly it.
yeah.
That's it. Now you dropped a couple of those questions on us. Do you have a little bank of some other questions that you think that are nice communication, healthy relationship starter questions to kind of step on the thin ice a little bit without breaking it yet? What are
Yeah.
some of those things that you can kind of pose to us?
I remember asking a lot of students over the years, what do you like about school? You would be surprised what would come out of that conversation. I
Mm.
would ask students, what do you like to do outside of school? I saw you playing basketball in the gym. Do you play basketball outside of school? Are you, do you belong to any of the basketball teams around the city? Things like that. What do you like to do?
Mm.
You
Hmm.
can you can make a conversation out of anything. I heard a
Yeah.
student talking about an orange. I said, you know what? My nephew wrote a rap about an orange. He loves oranges too. Is there anything else you like? I mean, just you can bank
Right.
off of
Hmm.
anything, but
Right.
asking them about what they like and what they do outside of school usually
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. See, the thing that I love is every single thing that you said has been positive. You haven't said a question that's going to set them off. You
Mhm.
haven't used the back-ended compliment, which and let's define a back-ended compliment. Oh, that's a nice sweatshirt. Be nice if you took the hood off. Just you know what I mean. It's stuff like that. So everything that you said is just it leans to that positive end. It
Mhm.
leans to that. You know what? It's okay. I'm all
Mhm.
right. I'm not going to use what you say against you in any way whatsoever. So I
Yeah.
love that. I really do. I do.
Yep, and let the students do the talking. They get tired
Hmm.
of hearing us talk. They get tired of hearing us talk. Ask the questions, frame the conversation. Students want to be heard. Again, especially at that middle school level. They want to
Hmm.
be heard. They want to they want you to see that they're people. And they want to talk. Let people talk about themselves. They like
Yeah.
that. Listen. Just listen.
Here's something that I have found has been very, very helpful, and I've used it with elementary, middle, high school teachers, people in the community. It's an amazing thing. If they're talking, I take the last 3 words or last 2 words that they say, and I frame it in a question to get them to talk some more.
Yeah.
So if they have a student that says to me, "Yeah, I was out by the courts the other day." Courts the other day. Yeah, I was out by the courts. I was moving and shaking. I was making some stuff happen. You were making it happen, huh? Yeah, I was making it happen. Oh man, you know what? Yo, you the man, ain't you? All you gotta do, like, because sometimes people can't think fast on the feet,
That's
for
great.
questions, whatever like that. Now, don't do it constantly because they're gonna think that you're repeating everything. You're just repeating me. But if you're ever stuck,
Yeah.
here's a little tip. Just grab a little couple things of what you heard them say something. Last couple words, last little statement, turn that into a question. Get them talking. Get them
That's
talking.
great.
That's it.
That's
Hey, I
great.
want to jump back, if I may, because
Mm-hmm.
we started this whole thing off with the importance of developing healthy adult-child relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I want to dive a little deeper into the word healthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How would you define a healthy adult-child relationship? And before you answer, the reason why I really want to dive into this is because post-pandemic,
Yeah.
we saw a different type of student.
We did.
The relationships that we are seeing between adult and child, I feel, now this is just Steve talking, in my experiences, has been skewed.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I want to define a little deeper what is healthy, what is considered healthy.
Yeah. It's definitely not believing that you have to be your students' friends. Okay? You do not have to be your student's friend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Julia Thompson says it is the role of a teacher to be a friendly adult, not the adult friend. So,
Ooh.
yeah, she's a
You know
guru.
me, I like to repeat stuff. Please say that again. Yeah.
She's a guru. She says it's the role of the teacher to be a friendly adult, not an adult friend. Students
Mm-hmm.
don't need friends from not teachers. They don't need teachers to be their friends. They
Right.
have friends.
Mm-hmm.
So a healthy student-teacher relationship is that student knowing that you respect them, that you are a respectful adult in their lives, and that you are the authority in the classroom that they can come to, that it's safe for them to come to you, to ask you questions, to learn from you. And even if they have problems, that you are someone that they can actually go to again and feel safe with that problem because they're with you more than they're with their family.
Yeah.
And so they need to know that. They need to know that you, again, respect them. They need to know that you are, that the teacher is concerned about their lives even outside of the classroom. I think that's important too.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes it healthy. I'm your teacher, but I'm someone who cares about your well-being. That's what makes it healthy.
Mm-hmm.
We speak to each other with respect. We're definitely seeing that fall off here lately. I speak to you with respect. You speak to me with respect. I have expectations of you as my student, and you have expectations of me as your teacher. That's what makes it healthy.
Yeah. And I think verbalizing some of that, from the adult standpoint, it's a little vulnerable, but you need to express that. Ask the students, going back to what you said before about questions, what is it that you're expecting me as a teacher? Let's have that discussion. Let's have the discussion about what it is I'm expecting from you as a student.
Absolutely.
To me, that and make it clear. Don't assume. Let's make it clear. This is what the expectations are from you, expectations from me. Let's have that conversation and continue that level of respect. I believe that's absolutely right with that healthiness there. Now, just even backing up further to our previous episode, we were talking about rituals and routines. I believe that's a part of that whole making a healthy classroom, healthy relationship as well. Yes?
It is. It absolutely is. And again, as I was kind of alluding to before, that's a part of my day 1, 2, and 3. When I meet these new students, when they come to me, yes, I'm teaching you what it's going to look like in this classroom as far as how you're entering, how you're sitting, what we're going to do daily. But also, now who are you? Because we're just meeting each other. Yeah. We have to build that trust. And I tell them, this is our classroom. We're going to be a family in the next couple of weeks. And we're going to love each other. Okay.
That's it. We are. It's going to happen.
Gotta love each other, but
Yeah.
let's find out who we are in this family.
Right.
I don't want you just to know who I am, but I also make opportunities for them to know the other students too. Learn who your
Yeah.
classmates
Yeah. Yeah.
are. Yeah.
Well, I got two final things I want to wrap up before we get to the end here. Is one, again, air quotes, that student who has a reputation coming in. All right. Developing that, because he or she may come in with a chip on her shoulder already, right? Because they have a reputation. You may have heard about them. Again, I'm assuming I probably know what some of those answers are, but working with that specific student, how do you move past that?
Oh, wow. That's a very good question. And I'm going to pin it just a second and talk about
Okay.
how I do that with the actual parents.
There we go. Hello.
Who come to you because they had horrible relationships with teachers in the previous school.
Okay. Right.
I would ask those parents to give me a clean slate. I would explain, I'm not that teacher. I know that you probably had a horrible experience, but let's start from square one because we can be different. That's kind of the same approach I would take with that student. I wouldn't even talk about what happened last year, regardless of what I know. Even if I ran into them in the hallway, I wouldn't talk about that with the student. I'm starting fresh, like I'm just meeting them. So if that student comes in and they may come in with that attitude, oh, okay, is this what we're doing? You know what? In Miss Houston's class, that's not how we roll. So we're gonna start over. Let's just rewind.
Yeah.
All right, let's try that again. Because it could have been the way they came in. It could have been something that they said. Oh, is that what I really heard? My ears must be deceiving me. Let's start that over. I would do that. I would let them know this is different. This space is different. Miss Houston is different. And now I need you to be different.
Yes. And I love that. And that, you know what, when you walk through the threshold of this door, it can be a different situation. It can be totally different. It can be. And you can make that happen, because especially if you talk about your middle school, your high school student, you know how long this shtick's been working for them? You know how long they may have been doing this? This is their ammo. This is what they're used to doing. So it takes some time to develop that relationship to make that happen. Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. So I said I had two questions. My last question that I have for you is, people love stories, right? We love stories. Can you go back into your memory bank or think of a story of a student or a situation that you can share with us to kind of pull this whole piece together as far as those relationships and making it healthy for adult and children?
I absolutely have one. I taught middle school English, but there was one school year where I taught dance, because dance is my background.
Okay.
So my principal had some funding. They wanted to do some different things because we knew our demographic. And so I taught dance. Well, I had an 8th grade student who I'd actually taught English to in 7th grade. Okay. So this student wasn't coming to class a lot, was missing a lot of school. And so one day we're in the gym, because my classroom was actually inside the gym. So we're in the gym and we're sitting in the bleachers, and she comes up and she talks to me, and she just starts asking me questions. Miss Houston, why did you start teaching dance? And for a long time, I'd forgotten that having conversations with students is just the way to just get things done. I was so focused on, in this new space of teaching dance, that I hadn't built very many good relationships with my students. And so having her come up, a student who I was familiar with, who I'd had that, history with, we started talking, and all of a sudden she opened up, and now I'm seeing this girl come to school more.
Okay.
Because she wants to come to my class. It was relationship more than it was academics. It was relationship more than it was activities. That dance class was fun, but that fun was not enough to make her come to school. It was me talking to her that made her come to school. It was me connecting with her that made her come to school. So yeah,
that's it.
That's a fond memory.
That's wonderful. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. All right. So we were talking about the importance of developing healthy adult-child relationships. We talked about the importance of what we talked about before, building those routines. That's a part of it. We talked about how the parents are a part of this as well.
Yes.
Asking those questions. Just open up. Ask basic questions. Let them know the different expectations between you as well as them, what those expectations are. Having those conversations, having those relationship opportunities. Don't lose who you are as in the leader in the classroom,
Right.
but that's how it all happens. All right.
Yes.
Hey, My name's Steve Bollar, Stand Tall Steve. We also have Iantha Ussin. We're so excited. This is great. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I would like to say a huge thank you to our guest, Iantha. Thank you so much for joining us. You are joining us and provided such valuable insights. Now, you've been listening to the TTS Talking Teachers podcast with me, Steven Bollar, also known as Stand Tall Steve, and Iantha Ussin. If you have been inspired by our conversation today in any way, don't forget, you can sign up via the link on our episode notes to be the first to hear about future episodes and access exclusive follow-up content, including ideas for your classroom and ways to shop useful resources.